Alright, this might be kind of a ramble video, but I haven't done a video in a day or two, and didn't have much in the mail, so I might as well do something. You always get inspired by some of these other chats, a Myco chat, or some sort of hobby talk, or baseball cards, junkies, that sort of thing. You get inspired by those videos, and you get to thinking about other things. I was watching several videos on like supply issues. I was also watching a video on in the record community, the vinyl community, and it was about Grails. And I don't think we actually used that term Grails before Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's probably where we started using that. It refers to like our top wants, like cards or records or that sort of thing. And I was just thinking, like I put in the comment section, I said, I wonder if I have any Grails that somebody else is looking for. If I have a Joshua Tree album sealed, brand new factory sealed, which I do. I think it's just one of those the music group ones, that you could get for a few cents or whatever like that. So it has a different label on the back, or no barcode or something like that, a BMG or whatever that is. But anyway, that might be somebody's grail to get that particular album, completely sealed, and they will be happy and set, and that would be their Mount Everest or whatever. But most of us have grails, which could be totally, what I wouldn't even consider a grail, like these cards down here. These Tucker Day cards here. I have a whole series of them, all numbered, all differently, all individually. This one here is like 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. Is that really a grail? But see, that could be somebody else's grail. They could be friends or went to college with him, and they might be looking for his cards, and I have them all, or most of them, and they will stay in my collection forever until something, some financial reason or something. But one of those Tucker Days originally sold for 99 cents plus shipping. It's one I didn't have. It's a 1 of 2. So that could be somebody's grail there, or it could just be a set builder. Again, there could be like players that are your grail players. Like if you're not necessarily like a card, but like this one right here. Here's a great example. Here's an Abe Attell, part of the Chicago Black Sox scandal, famous boxer. And this is one of those 1910 Mecca cards. Mecca Hassan. Yeah, this is the Hassan back card. It could be a 2 or 3. I'm not sure really what condition this is. Very, very nice colors on it. I don't think it was even $20 at the time when I got that, and I was really, really happy. I think it was about $5. And the guy that bought it from stuck 5 or 6 of these in a card saver. I was really disappointed to get 5 or 6 cards that were over 100 years old in a card saver. I was really terrible shipping. Terrible packing. I don't remember what I paid for shipping, but it was enough, and that was really not fair to do that. And that's where most of these came from. But you see, the one that I want is, I think, an Ogden's card. I'm not really sure if I can't remember right now. Churchman's or Ogden's. And that's a little harder to get. And now, is my Grail card graded? No, it is not. It's actually ungraded, because graded is probably $150, $200. And ungraded, at one time I could have gotten it for $17, and I didn't. Because I was being cheap, or I'd bought something expensive that week, and I said, I can't buy anything else. I've got to hold off. And that sat there for many, many months and months and months on eBay because Attell's name was spelled wrong. So that's that. Now, supply issues, I guess, can go along with the Grails, getting harder and harder to find stuff. And not necessarily hard to find due to, availability, but to cost. If you're going off the Dollar Tree now, it's $1.25. And then I would buy the soda at Dollar Tree for $1. And then now I can go to Grocery Outlet and get that same soda for actually cheaper than $1.25, including the price of the bottle deposit, which is 10 cents. So it's about the same price there. And not any reason to zoom off to a Dollar Tree for that. Frozen vegetables, they're now $1.25. It's not a big deal, but all your time and effort is going from one place to another. And again, when you're not going to places like a Dollar Tree, you're not seeing the movies that are coming, which are still an excellent deal at $1.25 if you have to find a Blu-ray. I think somebody found a 4K there once, and they even found some Xbox games down there in the mix of the Dollar Tree stuff. Again, with my postcards here, I'm just you know, I had numerous cool places I could go to. So I would take the nice trip downtown. I would go to the big antique mall there, which actually used to have a card vendor, which is really cool. I didn't buy a lot from the card vendor, but it was nice to have an extra source, you know, because I did have a couple of card shops. One of the card shops is really hard to get to, and that card vendor in that mall is now gone, and that took that one card vendor in that entire antique mall, wiped out every sports item there was in the entire mall, and there is nothing. You can't even get a sports item at an antique mall. I hear about people finding sports memorabilia and cards at antique malls all the time. It's not going to happen. My postcards, again, on the other side of the street, literally on the other side of the street, antique store, I drove by it was empty. There was nothing in the window. Absolutely nothing. They had probably 3,000 or more, 4,000 postcards. It was astronomical how many postcards they were. Then I go back to that antique mall, almost find 0 postcards. Then you go all the way across town to south, and there's this huge, giant antique mall, and there was only one $2 postcard and no photographs in the entire setup there. And so most of my postcards are now having to be sourced at random places like the Goodwill bins. Here's like for some sort of burger joint. I'll probably use it and find some city that's close to that in California. Somewhere in Los Angeles, I think that's where that BLT burger is. But, you know, would I have chosen this postcard? No. Is it an old, antique, interesting postcard? Not really. It was printed a few years ago. But that's what I have to have. And then the other places I've sourced, like the local small town thrifts, I've been through their postcards numerous times. One of them actually decided heck with the postcards, threw them in bags and did them in lots, and I bought all of the lots that they had there for only a few dollars a bag, and that got me going for quite a while. But I'm having to go to eBay for different vendors and buy each card at a minimum of $1 a piece plus shipping, and if you have 600 postcards to need, or 500, somewhere in that range, that gets kind of tiresome and expensive. And sometimes you'd say, well, I should just buy them all at once, but no, I just don't feel like it. You know, I don't want to spend 600 bucks, because what if I just don't want to finish this California project? But back to the Grails thing, you know, this is it. Do you have any Grails that other people are looking for? I don't mean sell or give them your Grails. No way, Jose. You know, and what really, I said, what really is a Grail? Is it, you know, a Mickey? Does it have to be a Mickey mantle, or it can be some worthless common that you've been searching for forever? As I mentioned in several videos, I have a soccer binder, and I might actually have this right here. I just have a few more minutes to talk about here. And this super ancient card that has absolutely no value, none whatsoever. However, it's from the UK, and now it's going to be harder and harder and harder to source and get those sort of things, because I had, you know, some shipping problems overseas. But what we want to do is we take this out of the binder here. This is an old Topps UK football card here, Kevin Beattie from Ipswich. That was featured in a book, and that was my Grail for many, many years, 15 plus years, maybe even 20 years. It was a Grail ever since because it looked like 1976 Topps. I just thought it was the coolest thing. They utilized that design, different back, of course, but really, there we go. But really cool, and it only cost me barely $2 from a UK seller. I think I bought a couple other cards, but really, really nice condition. I mean, it is going to be like you know, probably grade is like a 4, because all the corners are smashed and there's a little problem on here. But you know what, when I was a kid, this would have been mint condition almost. This would have been mint. And I would have never been able to find that in the United States. But things have opened up certain ways and then closed up others. I'll see if I can find a couple other cards here to show you, because, you know, that's what people do. You know what I like to do when I show baseball cards? I like to wear this USA baseball cap that I sourced at a Goodwill bins for only 25 cents. Again, you know, your sourcing changes, and that also changes your Grail list as well too. So let's just grab a couple more cards out of this antique binder, which I like to find here. And again, Grail cards don't have to be in mint condition. It could be the card itself, or it could be, you know, you're looking for a Mickey Mantle in a PSA 10, you know, and that could be something that you really, really have to have here. One more card here, 2 more cards here. My old cards binder does not feature just old cards, but it features cards of very, very odd sizes. And these cards were gotten when I was able to buy packs many, many years ago in the early 2000s. These are the private stock from Pacific. You know, really neat company that had a lot of cool ideas. And this is not a Grail, but Jerry Rice was one of my favorite players. He would have been a Grail player to get because any Jerry Rice card was off the chain. And this is number 150 out of 298. When I pulled that out of a pack, I about fell over. That was just totally uncalled for. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really ill. Really cool. And then there's nothing on the back there. You know, private stock 2000. Oh, on the conversely, well, I'll show you these other two cards that just happened to be in here. One of these cards, I think, was because the seller that I was buying from, I think Mike Wheat, was out of a card, and he said, oh, I don't have this one, can you take this one in exchange? So I think that might have been how I got this one. Really more trash than I really would like, but I forgot what this even is. And you can see the back is just, the back's on this O-back here, and this Sporting Life one, it's missing a huge paper loss. That would annoy people. I bought these many years ago for about $2 a card, maybe $3. I'm not really sure, but even now, these cards might even be $30 in that condition. Really terrible. Those are not really Grail players. I don't know, Cartwright and Bachman, don't know them. But anyway, I think that's really all I have for today. But I just wanted to talk about some interesting stuff that provide a little more discussion and might prompt somebody to make a video or two about their Grails or their sourcing issues. And thank you for watching.